Today is January 24th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today on the Big Book, we're going to continue Bill's story. We'll read page 14. We're actually a little bit ahead of the 12 and 12 today, so we are going to go ahead and slow down and maybe skip a day. But we will be reading the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you're doing well this morning, my friends. Hey, it's Saturday. Happy Saturday morning. Maybe after this we can watch some Saturday morning cartoons or something. Like we did back in the day. Or maybe we still do. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall out of the reading yesterday, page 13 in Bill's story is awesome. You see the foundation of every step being laid down, all because of the seeds that were planted from his encounter with Abby Thatcher, who was basically just working his program and reached out to Bill. So it's really neat to see how this seems like a miracle that's happening right in front of us. So we're going to continue this idea and Bill's story on page 14. Simple, but not easy. A price had to be paid. It meant destruction of self-centeredness. I must turn in all things to the Father of Light who presides over us all. These were revolutionary and drastic proposals, but the moment I fully accepted them, the effect was electric. There was a sense of victory followed by such a peace and serenity as I had ever known. There was utter confidence. I felt lifted up, as though the great clean wind of a mountaintop blew through and through. God comes to most men gradually, but his impact on me was sudden and profound. For a moment I was alarmed and called my friend, the doctor, to ask if I was still sane. He listened in wonder as I talked. Finally, he shook his head saying, "Something's happened to you, I don't understand. But you better hang on to it. Anything's better than the way you were." The good doctor now sees many men who've had such experiences. He knows that they're real. While I lay in the hospital, the thought came that there were thousands of hopeless alcoholics who might be glad to have what has been so freely given to me. Perhaps I could help some of them. They in turn might work with others. My friend had emphasized the absolute necessity of demonstrating these principles in all my affairs. Particularly, was it imperative to work with others as he had worked with me. Faith without works was dead, he said. And how appallingly true for the alcoholic. For if an alcoholic failed to perfect and enlarge his spiritual life through work and self-sacrifice for others, he could not survive the certain trials and low spots ahead. If he did not work, he would surely drink again. And if he drank, he would surely die. Then faith would be dead indeed. With us, it is just like that. "24 hours a day, January 24th. AA thought for the day. Alcoholics who are living in a blind alley refuse to be really honest with themselves or with other people. They're running away from life and won't face things as they are. They won't give up their resentments. They're too sensitive and too easily hurt. They refuse to try to be unselfish. They still want everything for themselves. And no matter how many disastrous experiences they have had with drinking, they still do it over and over again. There's only one way to get out of that blind alley way of living, and that's to change your thinking. Have I changed my thinking? Meditation for the day. I know that the vision and power that I've received from God are limitless as far as spiritual things are concerned. But in temporal and material things, I must submit to limitations. I know that I cannot see the road ahead. I must go just one step at a time, because God does not grant me a longer view. I am in uncharted waters, limited by my temporal and spatial life, but unlimited in my spiritual life. Prayer for the day. I pray that, in spite of my material limitations, I may follow God's way. I pray that I may learn that trying to do His will is perfect freedom. Daily Reflection, January 24th. Getting involved. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. To be helpful is our only aim. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 88 and 89. I understand that service is a vital part of recovery, but I often wonder, what can I do? Simply start with what I have today. I look around to see where there is a need. Are the ashtrays full? Do I have hands and feet to empty them? Suddenly I'm involved. The best speaker may make the worst coffee. The member who's best with the newcomers may be unable to read. The one willing to clean up may make a mess of the bank account. Yet every one of these people and jobs is essential to an active group. The miracle of service is this. When I use what I have, I find there is more available to me than I realized before. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and some beautiful stuff as always. Short and sweet today, but I love the daily reflection. First of all, since it's fresh, kind of keeping an eye out for what the need might be, and it doesn't have to be anything flashy or anything like that. But there's always some way we can be of service, and it doesn't just have to be at a particular meeting or even with a fellow drunk. It could be anyone. On the job, how can I work the 12 suggestions and be of service to others on the job, at home, at the grocery store, wherever I might be? How can I be of service? And as the reading says, whether it's cleaning the ashtray, which is an old school thought. Most of the fellowships I go to, I don't think they smoke anymore, at least not during the meeting, but helping clean up the snacks, helping with collecting the money, or helping with cleaning up the materials afterwards, or straightening up the chairs, or simply just a smile to the newcomer, or whatever, anything. Sharing your experience, strength, and hope, or the gift of presence and the gift of listening. There's so many ways we can be of service in the meeting, but I can also be of service to my family, my beautiful wife, my 2 beautiful children, all the many people I see throughout my day, which I'm around a lot of folks throughout the day. So there's a lot of opportunities to be of service. And also there's a lot of opportunities to work the program in the sense that I can choose not to take things personal when somebody says something disrespectful. I can always pray the 4th step prayer, the sick man's prayer. And I can still choose to be of service to that person no matter what. I can choose to say the serenity prayer when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed over things I can't even control. I can choose to work these principles in all my affairs, in every area of my life, not just the drinking. What about my food choices today? What about my lust or whatever? Fill in the blank, I can try to work the program in any way possible. There are opportunities all throughout the day. But I think the most beautiful thing for me, or comforting thing for me, is the fact that I'm not doing this through willpower alone. I know the God of my understanding is beside me. He's within me. And He's helping me through this. I know this because I'm sober today. I have tangible evidence in my life that the God of my understanding is working. And when I go to the fellowships, I see more tangible evidence. Because when I hear people share in these rooms, every single one of them say they tried so hard to stop drinking on their own and they couldn't. And now look at them. Miracles. And speaking of which, if you are sober today, my friend, you are a miracle. And I hope you realize that. And those who love you are very proud of you. And if you're not sober today, you're a miracle as well, because you're alive today. You're here. And there's a reason for you being here. I hope you realize that you're worthy of recovery as well. You have great worth. And I pray that you get the help that you need today. And my friends, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect, denomination, or organization. I am just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here today. Also, if you ever want to share your experience, strength, and hope, our email is bigbookdaily@gmail.com. Always love hearing from our Big Book Daily family. It's awesome. I wish I could call you all out by name, but we have some regulars. It's really cool to know that I'm not alone in this lifeboat of recovery. And with that, if we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.